Hello students, today we'll be starting the next chapter which is linear inequalities. Now in your previous classes you have studied about linear equations and how to solve them. Now let us consider a few examples. Suppose Ravi has rupees 200 to buy rice which is available only in packets of 1 kg and it is for 30 rupees per kg. Suppose he buys uh, X number of packets. So the total amount he spends is rupees 30x. Now clearly, since 30 is not divisible by 200, he can't spend the entire amount on buying rice. So the amount which and obviously he can't spend more money than what he has. So the amount spent would be less than 200, that is 30x is less than 200. So clearly it is a linear expression, but instead of an equal to sign we have an inequality. This is called a less than sign, which is called an inequality. Similarly, let's take another example. That suppose Reshma has rupees 120 for buying registers and pens. Suppose each register is for rupee 40 and each pen is for rupee 20. Suppose she buys X registers and 40 pens. So total amount she spends is rupees 40x plus 20y. Now, since these registers and pens, the amount spent on full units is 40 and 20 respectively. So if she wants, she can spend the entire 120 rupees in buying registers and pen, or it's up to her to spend less amount and still buy some register and pens. Okay, so we write it as 40x plus 20y, which is the amount she spends, will be less than or equal to 120. She can spend the whole amount 120, so that is equal to 120, and she can spend less than that, so we can write another statement as less than 120. So this is a combined space statement of two individual statements. So thus we have a definition: two real numbers or two algebraic expressions related by the symbol less than, greater than, less than or equal to, or greater than or equal to form an inequality. Now, if we have an inequality of the type 3 less than 5 or 7 greater than 5, these are called as numerical inequalities because both sides we are dealing with numbers. Whereas if we have inequalities like x less than 5, y greater than 2, x greater than or equal to 3, or y less than or equal to 4, these are called as literal inequalities, which have a variable on one side and a number on the other side. Again, these symbols, as you can clearly see, some symbols are only less than or only greater than. Two symbols are along with less than you also have an equal to sign, along with greater than you also have a equal to sign. So they can be divided into two categories: one where there is only a less than sign or only a greater than sign. Such are called as strict inequalities. Whereas the inequalities which involve along with less than or greater than and equal to sign also, these are called as slack inequalities. Now in this chapter we are going to deal with linear inequalities in one or two variables only. We are not dealing with any other kind of inequalities. Now by linear inequality we mean an expression which is an inequality which involves an expression in which is linear in x and y. It may be in one variable, it may be in two variables, but it is linear, means maximum power of x or y is 1. Okay, and it may have a strict inequality, it may have a slack inequality. For example, an expression of the type ax plus b greater than 0 or ax plus b less than or equal to 0. These will be linear inequalities in one variable. whereas an expression of the kind ax plus by less than 0 or ax plus by greater than or equal to 0 would be linear inequalities in two variables. Now now first we will be considering linear inequalities in one variables, and let us see their algebraic solution and graphical representation. Let us take the same example as the first one which we took, that is 30x is less than 200. Now, unlike an equation, linear inequalities are always satisfied by more than one, or may be satisfied with by more than one value of x, and hence they have more than one solution. Like for example, if we have a solution, an expression like this, it will be satisfied by x equal to 1 or 2 or 3. All these values will satisfy this expression, and all these values would be a solution to this inequality. Okay, so any solution of an inequality in one variable is a value of the variable which makes it true, a true statement. Okay, now so here what we have done is we have just simply done it by trial and error method, that we just put x equal to 1, we saw yes it is being satisfied, so we said that it is a solution. Similarly x equal to 2, similarly x equal to 3, and so on. Now let us see that if there are some rules which we can define to solve the linear inequalities. If you recall that when you had done linear equations, you had done or solved them using two rules. So let's recall them, and then using them as the base we will define some rules for solving linear inequalities also. Now the two rules which we had followed for solving the linear equations were that equal numbers may be added to or subtracted from both sides of an equation. That is, when you solve an equation, you can, if you add same number to both sides or you subtract same number from both sides, the expression remains the same. Similarly, both sides of an equation may be multiplied or divided by the same non-zero number, obviously, because if you multiply both by 0, it is just 0 equal to 0. So we just have one constraint, that we are multiplying by the same non-zero, multiplying or dividing by the same non-zero number. It may be positive, it may be negative, equality remains the same. Now while solving linear inequalities, we observe that rule 1 remains the same, that is, there is no problem in an inequality. We can apply it the same manner as we did it for linear equations. And what does that mean? You can add the same number to both the sides of inequality, it remains the same. You can subtract the same number from both sides of the inequality, it remains the same. But when we are multiplying or dividing, then in case you are using a negative number, the sign of the inequality gets reversed, whereas when you are using a positive number, the inequality remains the same. That is, this rule is followed when you are multiplying or dividing by the same positive number, whereas if you are using a negative number on both sides, then the sign of the inequality gets reversed. And let's see an example. I mean, it's very obvious because we know that 3 is greater than 2, but if you multiply it by -1, what do you get? -3, and here this becomes -2. But actually what do we have? -3 is less than -2. Okay, so if you are multiplying by a negative number, you cannot carry on the same inequality. The inequality gets reversed. Same way, we know that -8 is less than -7. Whereas if you multiply both the sides by a negative number, let's say -2, what are we getting? 16, and this side we get 14. And very clearly 16 is greater than 14. And so we come to this conclusion that the two rules for solving linear inequalities are, first is the same, that is, equal numbers may be added to or subtracted from both sides of an inequality without affecting the sign of the inequality. But there is a change in the second rule. Second rule remains the same for positive number, but when we are using negative numbers, then there is a change, that is the sign of inequality changes. And so what is the second rule? Both sides of an inequality can be multiplied or divided by the same positive number. So till here the rule remains the same. But when both sides are multiplied or divided by a negative number, then the sign of inequality gets reversed. So now another very important point which we have to keep in mind while writing the solution of an inequality is that apart from following these two rules, we have to also keep in mind that the solution varies with the choice of x. That is, it is different when we choose x to be a natural number, different when it is an integer, and yet another different result is given if we choose it to be a real number. So let's first take up the case of x being a natural number and x being an integer. In the next video, I'll take up the case how to deal with when x is a real number. So let's take an example. The same example, that is, we have to solve 30x is less than 200. When there are and write the solution in two parts. One when x is a natural number and another when x is an integer. So let's start solving it. Clearly, you have to divide both sides by 30 to remove. Basically, our whole idea is to bring only x on one side and the remaining numbers on the other side. So for that, the coefficient of x also needs to be 1. So what we do is we divide both sides by 30 using rule 2. So we get x is less than 20 by 3. Now all numbers which are till 3, like it is slightly more than slightly more than 6. And so when x is a natural number, the solution x will belong to, it could be 1. All natural numbers less than 20 by 3 can be from 1 to 6, all natural numbers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are the 6 possible solutions. So the solution, we get solution set in this case rather than a single solution. Whereas when x is an integer, we know that along with these natural numbers, you can even have a 0 or -1 or -2, and it goes on till minus infinity. So this will be an infinite set having all numbers, all negative integers. Then we have 0 and all positive integers from 1 to 6, which are also called as natural numbers. So you can clearly see that we get different set of results when x is a natural number and when x is an integer. Same way, let's take another question. 5x minus 3 is less than 3x plus 1. Using rule 1, we remove the 3 first. So adding 3 to both sides. Again, using rule 1, we just remove 3x from here and bring it this side. So either you subtract both sides, subtract 3x from both sides, or we can also say that we are bringing 3x to this side, it becomes negative. So 5x minus 3x is less than 4 we get, that is 2x is less than 4. Applying rule 2, divide both sides by 2, you get x is less than 2. Now let's again report the answer. When x is a natural number, there is only one number which will satisfy this, that is x is equal to 1. Whereas when x is an integer, along with 1 you will have a 0 and all negative integers, and so you will have all negative integers 0 and 1, which is a set for a solution set when x is an integer. On the same lines, you can try out question number 1 and 2 of exercise 6.1. Thank you.